Coming up on News 3 at 6, we have new information tonight on a massive data breach in Adams County, and a county employee is being investigated.
We're following the latest after a small tornado hits a town in eastern Dane County.
And it could get a little loud next week as military leaders gather in Madison for some training in the sky. News 3 at 6 starts right now.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Eric and Charlotte are off.
News 3 has learned investigators are looking at a laptop used by the Adams County clerk for evidence of a major data breach in the county. That data breach affecting more than 258,000 residents, potentially statewide. News 3's Madeline O'Neill has the very latest on this case. Maddie.
Yeah, well, search warrants obtained this afternoon by News 3 show investigators are looking at a laptop computer used by current Adams County Clerk Cindy Filippi for evidence of computer crimes and misconduct in public office between January 2013 and July 2018. Adams County officials today notified the public of a data breach affecting more than 258,000 people whose health and personal information is in Adams County computers. The county manager told News 3 the suspect is a county employee, but couldn't confirm or deny the employee was Filippi. Details from investigators in the search warrant show Filippi at one point had unexplained access to key security software, which would have given her access to sensitive information. As for the breach, the manager says they don't believe the information left the county.
From all the information we have, it's an internal breach. So we have employees that access documents or records that should not have, and that's what we're in the process of cooperating with law enforcement to address that.
Filippi remains the clerk in Adams County and has not been charged with a crime. A county board member confirms the board will hold a hearing on Thursday the 16th to consider a statement of charges against a public official. That board member couldn't confirm or deny that official was Filippi. That means Filippi will be in office on Tuesday for the primary election. A spokesperson for the Wisconsin Elections Commission said the agency had been in contact with Adams County and said they had not received any information the data breach involved elections. He also said they'd been in touch with clerk staff who, quote, assured WEC they have adequate resources to assist municipal clerks with the partisan primary election on Tuesday, but they have offered assistance. They also would not confirm that Filippi was involved in the investigation. We also reached out to Filippi this afternoon and have not immediately heard back.
All right, the story is unfolding as we speak.
Yeah,
Madeline, thank you.
we'll follow it. Thanks.
Thank you, Maddie. Police are looking for a man suspected in credit card thefts and fraud in Wisconsin and Illinois. The Beaver Dam Police Department said today it's investigating a theft by fraud complaint in which an unidentified person stole multiple credit cards from a local YMCA. The cards were taken either from the victim's vehicle or locker and were then used at various stores. Police say the losses incurred by victims as a result of the fraud is likely upwards of $100,000. Police released multiple photos of the suspect. The vehicle he is driving is a dark blue Chrysler minivan and often has stolen or temporary tags and no plates at all. Let's check in with Gary Canalti now for a first look at the weekend forecast. Gary?
Susan, it's warm out there. The polar bears are having a good time at the Vilas Zoo. It looks like the humidity levels will be down for us humans, so it'll be pretty comfortable this weekend. Let's start out by taking a look at visible cloud track. You can see that skies are mostly sunny across the southern part of the state. A few light showers in the northern part of the state have been fizzling out. You can see that on Doppler track. The only showers really are north of Green Bay and out toward northern portions of Lake Michigan. Low temperatures this morning started out in the upper 50s to lower 60s. We had some areas of fog. Probably see some patchy fog early tomorrow morning. High temperatures so far, middle 80s here in Madison, but to the west it was even warmer. 88 the high temperature in Bosqueville, 90 in La Crosse. Milwaukee only topped out at 79, but that's where they're at right now. Current temperatures are generally in the low to mid 80s through southern Wisconsin. Dew point temperatures are in the upper 50s to the lower 60s, so not as humid as yesterday. And as we check out our forecast first, look for temperatures to drop into the lower 60s by early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow we'll look for mostly sunny skies and a warm but still not too humid day with a high temperature of 84. That's your first alert forecast.
All right, Gary, thank you. They are calling it a bad situation that could could have been a lot worse. The staff at International Machinery Exchange left with a lot of cleanup after an EF0 tornado touched down yesterday.
With around 80-mile-per-hour winds, it tore the roof off their business. But the general manager says he's very thankful that that's all that happened. Jamie Perez has an update on what the business looked like this afternoon. Jamie?
Well, there's a first time for everything, even experiencing a tornado. But what was so scary was they were inside the building when it ripped through and tore off the roof. Everyone's okay, but just imagine how scary this would be if it happened to you.
They say there's a first time for everything, but most people don't want to experience a tornado at any time.
My daughter looked out the window and said, "Dad, there's a tornado coming here. What are we supposed to do? Where are we supposed to go?" And then hail started hitting the building very hard. And then right after that, it happened so quick. We really couldn't do much of anything.
This is what's left over after that tornado ripped through the IME building in Deerfield yesterday. The lowest scale tornado still causing tremendous damage.
Half the roof was gone and there was gas pouring into the place pretty much. So that's why we called 911, because of the gas.
With 3 employees inside at the time, it's a miracle no one was injured.
Oh, I'm good now. Yesterday was a little rough though.
They're just left with pieces to pick up.
Now it's just cleanup time. Try to figure out how we can get the business back going, get the power back on so we can get back to work.
And a story to tell of their first time experiencing a tornado.
And I think this was just a fluke. Watching the news last night, how they explained why it hit here, it was just a fluke that a tornado hit us. It's never had one that I'm aware of around here. But
Jeff said the building is still structurally sound enough to save it. They'll just be spending the next few days, maybe even a few weeks, cleaning up everything and restoring it all back to normal so they can get their business back up and running as soon as possible.
A fluke thing indeed. Jamie Perez live in the newsroom. Thank you.
A Dodge County family is still looking for closure after their daughter was killed in a crash in August of 2017.
This week, the driver who hit her was found not guilty of being impaired during the crash. Only News 3's Rose Schmidt joining us in the studio now to explain. Rose.
That's right. This case is almost a year in the making. It started with a woman from Beaver Dam being hit and killed in a crash last August. Her family has been nothing but frustrated ever since after charges weren't filed against the driver who hit her. But the driver says he is remorseful for what happened.
A mom, a good person, and her kids always came first. Her mom and dad were number one also in her eye, and
These are the many ways Kayla Davis's friends and family describe her.
Life's changed for me. She was a big part of my life.
In August 2017, Kayla was standing in the median of Highway 151 in Dodge County when she was hit and killed.
My daughter stopped to help personnel, and at the same token, her life was taken away from her.
She had gotten out of her car and stopped to help someone else in a crash before being hit herself. But this week,
We wanted the closure at the trial, which really did not happen.
a Dodge County jury found the driver, Troy Kelm, not guilty.
Mr. Kelm was not facing going to prison. This was not a trial about whether or not he wrongfully killed the deceased.
The jury had one question to answer. Was Kelm impaired by prescription medications in his system when he was driving his truck? The jury ultimately decided no. His attorney says he had prescription medications in his system at the time to treat an anxiety disorder. When the crash happened, Kelm was on his way to Madison to get a methadone treatment.
Mr. Kelm did have methadone in his system, which is used to help maintain people who have been addicted to opiates.
His lawyer says he had a split-second decision to make, trying to avoid hitting the car in front of him.
Oh, my client is obviously very, very sorry for this. He's going to have to live with this for the rest of his life. I can't even imagine having to carry that around.
How do we get justification when he's proven not guilty, but yet a person has been killed? It took my daughter's life.
Kayla's family is still seeking that closure the trial did not give them.
They did the proper way of going through the court system. And at the same token, it just doesn't seem like I got my justice.
The Dodge County Sheriff's Office referred its case to the District Attorney's Office, but our attempts to contact the DA have been unsuccessful.
Rose Schmidt here in the studio with us. Thank you, Rose.
Well, coming up next on News 3 at 6, the skies above Madison will be pretty busy next week.
We'll tell you why. You'll be seeing a lot of military aircraft. Thanks for watching News 3 at 6. We'll be right back. Madison police are investigating after a woman was shot with BBs. Officers say around 3:45 yesterday afternoon, the 38-year-old was riding her bike on the 900 block of South Park Street when she heard two pops and felt pain in her backside. She told police she thought someone shot at her while lying down in the back seat of a passing car. She was able to write down the license plate number and give it to police.
Firefighters in West Dallas, just outside of Milwaukee, releasing some striking video today. It's the beginning of a vehicle fire that would quickly engulf this minivan. Responding firefighters were shocked to see that there was a man in the driver's seat. He couldn't get out of the vehicle on his own because he was unconscious. So responders broke the window with an axe and pulled the driver, who was still in a seatbelt, out of the burning car. They say the way he was positioned inside contributed to the flames.
His foot was on the accelerator and the engine was revving the entire time, which is probably what generated the heat to start the fire.
That 60-year-old driver suffered only minor scrapes and bruises. Police say he'd been drinking, and he cited him for operating while impaired.
You might notice more flight activity in our area over the next 2 weeks. Volk Field is hosting the annual Northern Lightning exercise. Aircraft and personnel from the Air Force, National Guard, the Marines, and Navy will be flying over 23 Wisconsin counties, and they'll be doing offensive and defensive exercises, sometimes traveling at supersonic speed, all to see how they can increase military readiness.
Northern Lightning is a great opportunity to showcase not only the base, but the great state of Wisconsin to well over 1,000 members of the armed forces from all over the country.
You should expect to see increased flight activity between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. starting Monday through Friday, the 24th. We have a list of all 23 counties affected on our website, channel3000.com.
That could be interesting.
That could be very, I think so too. Coming up next at 6, it's a career not often thought of as a career for women.
But an area group is learning how to build like girls, while an organization hopes to get more women interested in construction.
And in weather, warm but dry weather is expected over the weekend with low humidity and high temperatures in the middle 80s. I'll have your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
A local construction company is holding an event today to get girls interested in what's been a male-dominated field.
It is the first ever Build Like a Girl event, and it offers young women hands-on experiences. 14 middle and high school age girls are getting the chance to lay bricks, swing a hammer, and tour an active construction site on the UW campus. Right now, the construction industry is having trouble filling open positions for skilled workers. Construction site managers agree women would significantly help alleviate that shortage if they could be convinced to join the industry, but right now less than 2% of construction workers are women. One incentive for them to join the industry is the pay.
In construction, you make what you make, so it's really nice. There isn't that gender disparity in terms of income. However, there's less than 2% of women that are actually in the field.
Nationally, women only make 79 cents on every dollar that a man makes, but in construction, that disparity is much less, with women making 92.5 cents on the dollar.
Let's check in with the weekend weather now. Gary Canalte's in the backyard weather patio where the sun continues to shine.
Yeah, beautiful day today. Temperatures in the mid-80s. We'll see lots of sunshine this weekend, so we have quiet weather in the forecast. Now would be a good time if you have a good weather photo to send it in. We've got, we're submitting, asking people to submit pictures for the Wisconsin weather calendar, the 2019 calendar. Make sure they're in by the end of the month, but email them in a high-resolution format to weathercalendar@WISC-TV.com. Don't forget to give us your name and your address, and if your photo is selected for the calendar, we'll send you some free calendars and give you free credit in the calendar itself. Now, as we take a look at what could be happening this weekend, we've got the Perseid meteor showers that will probably peak toward the end of the weekend with clear skies at night. Might have a pretty good chance of seeing them, especially if you look off toward the northeastern sky. And you can see on visible cloud trackers, not much in the way of cloudiness out there. Other than some patchy fog in the morning, I think we'll see clear nights the next couple of nights. On Doppler track, there were a couple of light showers north of Green Bay. They're just about gone now. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. You can see clear skies there. WISC Skycam looking out toward the south shows mostly clear skies there. I've been looking around for clouds. I can't find them. The Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison looking toward the Capitol shows bright sunshine over downtown Madison. As we check out the almanac for today, high temperature 84, low temperature at 58, very close to the normals of 80 and 60. And right now we're sitting at 83 degrees. The air is calm. The dew point temperature is in the lower 60s. On weather track, things pretty quiet across the northern part of the Midwest. A couple of light thunderstorms in the eastern portion of the UP of Michigan, but the showers and storms from yesterday are now down toward central Illinois and moving away from us. There's a stationary front there. That divides the more humid air farther to the south to the warm but less humid air in our part of the Midwest. Temperatures right now mainly in the 80s through the Midwest. Farther out to the west, 107 right now in Glasgow, Montana, 96 in Bismarck, North Dakota. But dew point temperatures here are in the upper 50s and lower 60s. Where that heat is out west, you can see dew points in the 30s. That's a great setup for wildfires as the air is very dry. Our forecast for tonight calls for mostly clear skies. It'll be mild, some patchy fog late with a low of 61. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm with a high temperature of 84. On future track, look for clear skies for tonight. Low temperatures dropping into the lower 60s. Tomorrow, high temperatures in the middle 80s. There might be a sprinkle or two in some areas. I think most areas will stay dry. Tomorrow night with mostly clear skies, we're back into the lower 60s. And then on Sunday, look for high temperatures in the middle 80s with partly to mostly sunny skies. 7 to 10 day forecast calls for high temperatures in the upper 80s with sunny skies on Monday, mid 80s on Tuesday. Could be a couple of thunderstorms Tuesday night into Wednesday. High temperatures in the lower 80s for the rest of next week into the following weekend. Another thunderstorm chance from Friday night into Saturday of next weekend.
The Packers look good in their preseason opener last night at Lambeau Field. Now Mike McCarthy wants to make them look even better. The story's coming up in sports.
Good evening. I'm Amanda Quintana. Tonight on your news at 9, some Rock County voters are getting postcards with the wrong voting location. We'll clear up the confusion first on Fox 47 News at 9.
The Packers didn't play 10 of their starters, but those that did play did pretty well in general in the 31-17 win over the Tennessee Titans at Lambeau Field last night. The Packers have another home game next Thursday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers, of course, didn't play last night, but the three quarterbacks that did all had their moments. Tim Boyle had one of the best throws of the night. This one to former Whitewater wide receiver Jake Kumaro, who scored a touchdown, got to do a Lambeau leap. Yes, there were a ton of penalties, and yes, it wasn't a clinic. But head coach Mike McCarthy says a game like this will only help.
It's clearly, I would call it a stepping stone game where we had production, we had positive things, we had things clearly we needed to do better. And, it was preseason game number one. But I thought the team got off to a good, solid start.
The Brewers are starting a week-and-a-half-long road trip. Tonight, they'll be in Atlanta for the next 3 games. They put Joakim Soria on the disabled list and called up Adrian Hauser from AAA. At Wrigley Field, the Cubs host the Washington Nationals 2-2 in the 7th. A bases-loaded walk to Anthony Rizzo forces in the go-ahead run, and it's 3-2. Then top of the 9th, the Nationals have the tying run on, but Pedro Strop strikes out Trey Turner to end it. Final score, Cubs 3, Nationals 2. The Cubs lead the Brewers by 2.5 games now in the NL Central. They're in a weather delay in the second round of the PGA Championship in St. Louis. Gary Woodland continues to lead at 10 under, 1 ahead of Kevin Kisner. Tiger Woods birdied 3 of his first 7 holes. He's tied for 23rd. The high school sports season is underway. Today at Yahara Hills, Edgewood hosts a 20-team girls golf invitational. Rained about 1.5 inches yesterday afternoon, so the course was pretty soggy, but not a problem for Middleton's Mackenzie Hodson, who rolls that chip close in the 9th hole on the East course. Edgewood's Grace Welch looks like she's in a bit of trouble here, hitting out of that wet rough, but I think she likes that, and she should. Welch hits it close, shoots 4 over 76. That puts her in 5th individually. Again, a big field of 20 teams, and the team winner today is Arrowhead. The Warhawks win the team title. Arrowhead's Emily Lauterbach is the only player to break par with 68 today. Stoughton's Kaylee Kotlowski ties for 3rd with a 74 at Yahara Hills. And a special golf event in Monona today as the First Tee of South Central Wisconsin hosts its 5th annual 9 Healthy Habits Invitational presented by Humana. 150 golfers from 12 First Tee locations and 5 other youth agencies played 9 holes and not only learned about the rules and etiquette of golf, but also about healthy habits for all aspects of their lives. So what's the best part about the day?
Just the kids. I mean, just the enthusiasm, the love of the game, and knowing what they're going to learn from this experience that they can take on and really, apply to the aspects of their life in the future. It's so much more about the game of golf. It's just inspiring.
Now, they did some math, and they figure that the 150 golfers and volunteers took about 1 million steps as they get out, get exercise, stay healthy, and learn good habits. Those kids had so much energy. I needed a nap after going out there today.
That's a great program.
Oh, the First Tee is
Everybody's looking
great.
at their phone. How many steps did I get today? They said 1 million.
Well, if they're like me, they'll be walking a lot of steps, out in the rough and
That's part of the deal.
searching
All
for
adds
the ball.
up.
Well, this will be a nice weekend for golf. Temperatures in the mid-80s right now, pretty comfortable, 83 degrees, but dew point temperatures are in the upper 50s to the lower 60s, so not too humid out there. For tomorrow, look for a high temperature of around 84, about 86 on Sunday, plenty of sunshine this weekend, up to 87 on Monday, and then a little more humidity from Tuesday into Wednesday could lead to a chance of thunderstorms Tuesday night and Wednesday. Thursday and Friday should be dry. Another chance for a thunderstorm Friday night into Saturday, and then dry weather toward the beginning of the following
And the
week.
big meteor shower is Sunday night. Looks like it might be clear.
Yeah, next couple of nights, though, you should be able to see some meteors, northeastern sky.
Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock. Have a good evening.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.